Hello. Thanks for joining us again on the channel. Okay, yes, we've reviewed a lot of these. Too many probably, but trust me, this one stands out. It caught me off guard, in a good way. Before we get started, there's a special discount if you're interested. The link is in the description and also in the top comment. Now, let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Let's begin by examining the insights provided by our first reviewer.
This reviewer recently decided it was time for a major network upgrade and got their hands on this new access point. Right out of the box, our reviewer was impressed with its solid construction. It feels well made and looks professional enough to blend into an office environment without drawing attention. This client noted that getting it set up was surprisingly straightforward. While the management interface isn't the flashiest they've ever seen, it's very functional and guides you through the process without any real confusion, which is a definite plus. Once it was up and running, the performance difference was immediately obvious. This client found that its ability to handle numerous devices at once without slowing down is a huge benefit, especially in a busy setting where everyone is competing for bandwidth. A real game changer for them was the access to the 6 GHz frequency, with the standard 2, 4 GHz and 5 GHz bands being so congested these days. Having this clean, uncongested new spectrum to operate in made a massive difference in stability and overall speed. It's like having a private, empty lane on a crowded highway. This client tested it in a large 5,000 square foot space, and the results were impressive, providing a strong and consistent signal across the entire area. Even with multiple people streaming high-definition video, transferring large files, and joining video calls, the network remained fast and responsive for everyone. It completely eliminated the frustrating lag and buffering that were common before. In the end, this access point has proven to be a truly high-performance solution that has completely revitalized their wireless network, making it a powerful and reliable backbone for a demanding professional environment.
Great! Now let's see what our next reviewer has to say about their experience.
This reviewer was on the hunt for a budget-friendly yet future-proofed Wi-Fi 7 access point. After stumbling upon a recommendation online, they started investigating this particular device, attracted by its VLAN support and more appealing price point compared to other options they were considering. The initial setup proved surprisingly easy. A reviewer simply connected it to Gigabit PoE+ port, and it sprang to life immediately, acquiring an IP address via DHCPv4 without any fuss. The device boasts support for 8 SSIDs, offering the flexibility to assign them to any or all radios and map them to specific VLANs. It also offers 8 security profiles that can be applied to various SSID profiles. The inclusion of 2 5G Ethernet and Wi-Fi 7 capability is a welcome bonus, ready for when 2 5G PoE+ ports and compatible Wi-Fi 7 devices become more prevalent. Paired with an existing network setup that includes an OP/NSense router and several high-performance switches, this client was eager to see how the access point performed. Using a phone with Wi-Fi 6E, they achieved impressive speeds of 865 Mbps during a speed test, mirroring the low latency experienced when directly connected via Gigabit Ethernet port. Overall, they expressed great satisfaction with the purchase. The only minor issue encountered was the device's inability to configure its management address for a site-local IPv6 range, which is how our reviewer's LAN is set up. However, this is considered a negligible problem, as the access point can be easily managed via an IPv4 address, and DHCPv6 functions seamlessly through the device to connected clients. Ultimately, the reviewer awards a full 5-star rating. As their first experience with this brand, the entire setup and firmware update process took only about half an hour. For anyone looking for a solid access point for a small office or home office environment, they strongly suggest giving this one a try.
Excellent. Let's find out what our next reviewer has to share about their experience.
This reviewer wanted a simple mesh setup for their home and picked up a couple of these access points to try out. Setting them up was surprisingly straightforward. Using the basic setup wizard, our reviewer configured both units to broadcast the same SSID across all frequencies. Then under the wireless settings, they enabled 802.11 assisted roaming on both devices. After that, roaming was pretty much good to go. The management dashboard even lets you see that both access points recognize each other as Ethernet neighbors, which is reassuring. The main reason for upgrading was to improve Wi-Fi calling reliability. Living in an area with poor cell reception, Wi-Fi calling is essential, and the old system was constantly dropping calls when moving between access points. This device definitely fixes that. There's a very brief stutter, almost imperceptible when switching between access points, but it's a huge improvement over dropped calls. While the reviewer hasn't tested the 6 GHz band yet because of device limitations, the 2, 4 GHz and 5 GHz Wi-Fi 6 bands are working perfectly. It's worth noting, as others have mentioned, that this monitor is designed for business use, so the setup process assumes you have some basic understanding of Wi-Fi networking. Also, it requires a separate power adapter unless you're using a PoE injector. A standard Netgear power adapter with 3 amps seems to do the trick. Finally, remember that these are just access points, so you'll need a separate DHCP router to actually manage your network.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. See you next time.